All right, we're live. We're back. That's deep. Another episode. Last week was a really good card for us. We were just talking backstage. There was some really nice spots on that card that we had extreme confidence in, and those spots came through. This card, not so much. We've got a lot of big favorites that typically aren't going to be big favorites like this. But we've got 14 fights to break down, and we'll make the best of it. Jonny, how you doing today, my friend?
Doing well, doing well. Yeah, last week was you could have made. I still made a lot of money, but it's like I felt like there was money left on the table. But
Yeah,
it was still made money, so I can't complain. And it's this card is, I mean, for being a live event, like in front of fans. I mean, this is a pretty bad product
that's
to put
rough.
out there.
At least
This
they
is
gave
something
him
that should have
14
been in the
fights.
Apex. This was definitely an Apex card, like move to Louisville, like 100%.
Yeah, on paper it is. I mean, at least we get 14 fights though, so there's going to be some kind of crazy action going on. We'll get. It'll be hopefully by the end of the night a fun card. It's not 14 fights of misery. But hey, they put them out there. We break them down. We try to make money. So let's go ahead and jump right into it here. We've got the first fight of the night is in the women's strawweight division. We have Hayani Dos Santos, potentially Hayani Amanda, depending on the book, taking on Pooja Tomar, who is making her debut. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I don't know why Punja Tamar is in the UFC. Yeah, she's not very skilled. I mean, by watching the fights that I've watched back, but I mean, she comes forward and she throws kind of reckless. I mean, she finishes a lot of girls, but low level girls. And
Yeah,
Riando Santos, I'm not high on her either. I she should be the favorite, but I mean, it's like minus 400. I mean,
yeah,
375. That's steep. Um, yeah, I don't think the Santos is very good either, but I mean, I just think Tomar is probably worse. I mean, what I was looking at, I was thinking maybe like under 2.5 that at plus money. I mean, the way Tomar fights, and I mean, she could easily just gas, or you don't know what to. I
yeah.
don't know what to expect out of this fight. So I'm leaning that someone probably gets a finish, but I know this is women's MMA, low level, and that's like not that's hard to like. I mean, but I don't know. This is like either under or pass for me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, Dos Santos is the side here. Obviously, you don't want to lay chalk on it. I do think a finish is possible. Like you said, we've got a debuting fighter who comes forward recklessly. She could gas out. I don't think she's very good either. So, yeah, I think this is the Santos spot here. And yeah, the under's live. I like I've been doing for the past few weeks. I've got Dos Santos tied to a couple baseball plays that hit earlier for me. So I've got her at plus money going into the card, which is nice. Um,
Okay.
but that's it. I mean, if you've got something you're looking at, we've got the NBA finals going on, we've got baseball going on. If you like something, maybe tie her to something like that. But yeah, it's tough to lay, $3 on low level women's MMA. But I do think Dos Santos is the side here. And
Especially if she gets her grappling going too. I mean,
yeah,
I think
that's the
she could
thing. Like
probably
we haven't seen
easily
her
take her down. She's got good top control.
exactly.
In the Corsi fight, she fought. I mean, she fought pretty well in that fight, but the Corsi's not very high level either. So I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I mean, it's if you can find a nice parlay piece to throw her in there with and maybe get plus money on it. But yeah, I mean, $3 favorite, first fight of the night. It's tough to lay chalk here. But yeah, I like the under. And yeah, if you can find value somewhere else, that's the way to go. All right, our next fight is in the bantamweight division. We have Cody Stamann taking on Taylor Lapilus. Another interesting one. Cody Stamann's been in the UFC for a while. He's a tough out, durable guy, pretty well rounded. Taking on Taylor Lapilus, who's going to have a little bit of a size advantage. Good striking, overall pretty solid from what I've seen. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think I don't know. Cody's statement is kind of at the end of the road, I think here. Yeah, I don't know what to expect from the guy. You know, he's like, I mean, he could be like, if he would use his grappling more, then I would be more higher on him. But I mean, with Lapilus, I mean, getting Lapilus down is going to be hard. I mean, he's got excellent takedown defense. He's a big, he's a good fighter, good striking. But the thing that worries me is he's extremely low level, like not low level, but extremely low volume, like, and that concerns me. But yeah, I think he's definitely decided. I think probably Lapilus by decision is the look I would be trying to get on.
Yeah, I've got the over 2.5 in a parlay.
Yeah, it's minus 400. So I mean,
yeah, I threw that again, another baseball parlay, because I think this one goes all 3 rounds. I think Lapilus wins. He's got a big reach advantage. He's got a good size advantage. Stamann's tough. He's a tough out. He's very well rounded, but yeah, I think this is Lapilus. This is a Lapilus spot here. I think he could pick him apart at range. You know, the volume could be a problem if we go to a decision. You know, Dave Torelli could be on the the scores here, so God only knows. Hopefully not, but yeah, I mean, I think this one goes 3 rounds. You know, if you're betting Lapilus, I'd probably bet him with with an over or by decision, because I think this fight goes 3 rounds. And
yeah, decision's minus 130. So
yeah,
probably get steamed up more before fight time. So
yeah. So I mean, Lapilus is the pick for me. Over 2.5, I think is definitely live. I think it goes all 3 rounds. Probably a relatively boring fight, and yeah, we get what we get with that one. Our next fight, probably a little bit more entertaining. We've got a women's strawweight bout. Eduardo Mora taking on Denise Gomes. Gomes is, good power, extremely dangerous. Mora, very good grappling. Her sweep game is good. So if she does end up on her back, she usually finds her way to getting on top. Interesting one here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Denise Gomez, she's like a little firecracker. She comes out, she's throwing heat. She's dangerous on the feet. She's got power. Yeah, she's fucked me a couple times before, but just starching girls. She's definitely got power in her hands. And then Mora's, but the thing about her, she's real short, super short, big size advantage here for Mora. This is yeah, I think Mora's going to probably come in. She missed weight in her last fight. She makes weight here. I mean, she's gonna blow up. She's gonna be huge in there compared to Gomes. And I think she's probably going to take her down and probably sub her. I like Mora by sub unders.
Yeah, I like the unders in this fight because Gomez can obviously she can crack, and she's finished a few fights early in the UFC. But I agree with you. I think Mora's the side here. If she gets her grappling going, that's going to be huge. I think Gomes early, extremely dangerous. As the fights go longer, she gets a little bit sloppy. She tends to slow down a little bit. Still always dangerous, and she's a tough out. But yeah, I mean, she was taken down, what was it, I think 5 times by Angie Hill, who's a good fighter, but she's not really known for her wrestling.
Loma
So
dude took her down.
yeah. So when she's fought people who want to take her down, she's been taken down a bunch. So I have to side with the grappler here. It'll be scary early unless she gets her down quickly. But yeah, I think I like Mora. I've been talking this whole time and I've been on mute.
No, you haven't.
Oh, you could hear me?
Oh, I could.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh no,
I just looked.
maybe to the people. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think I was on mute the whole time. So because
Oh
you
my
were
god.
responding, so I thought we were good, and then I looked down and I was on mute. So
Oh, Tommy. All
all right. So, but I agree with you. I'll go back. I think the grappling is the advantage here. Gomes is dangerous early, but yeah, I think Mora gets the grappling going, and I think she's the side here. And
Yeah, but another concerning thing for me is that Mora, she's like round one. She get a lot of her fights finished in round one. So how is she going to look if this fight does get extended and she's grappling early? That's
true
another
too.
interesting thing.
That's true too.
This might be a live entry point if Mora looks a little gas and Gomez is still right there.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. But Gomes does. She slows down a little bit too. I mean, she's pretty front loaded as well. I mean, she did go. I think she went 3 rounds with Angela Hill, but I thought she slowed down quite a bit. Got kind of sloppy there late. So yeah, I mean, I like Mara here. I have to side with the grappler. It's going to be dangerous early, but I think she gets it done. The grappling is just going to be enough. Like I said when I was on mute, when women try to grapple Gomes, it tends to work in their favor. So Mora is the pick here. All right, we'll move on. Our next fight is in the bantamweight division. We have John Castaneda taking on Daniel Marcos. Marcos, undefeated, comes forward, throws bombs, good striking. Castaneda, pretty well-rounded, good striking. Seen him get kind of cooked late in fights, but he is a tough out. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is pretty evenly matched fight. I mean, Castaneda, he's a dog, man. He's got that dog in him. He walks forward, he throws, he's got nice leg kicks, decent grappling. Yeah, he's solid. But I don't know, this Marcos guy I don't know, man. He's kind of impressed me. I mean, his first fight against who was it? It was Davey Grant. He should have lost that fight. And then he comes back in his next fight, and I mean, he looks like a totally different fighter. I mean, he was letting his hands go. He was piecing up a reaching lane. Yeah, if we get that Marcos here in this fight, I think the way that Castaneda walks forward, I think he's just going to be able to box him up and just piece him up with the 1-2. I mean, yeah. Initially, I thought I would be on Castaneda, but I mean, I think it's the Marcos fight here. I like Marcos.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
Money line.
It's funny. I'm in the same boat. I thought I would be on Castaneda too. But yeah, I'm on Marcos. I think the forward pressure is going to be what makes the difference in this fight. We've seen Castaneda kind of break in previous fights where he starts well, and then the pressure gets to him late. He is a tough out. He's a tough guy. He's skilled, but yeah, no, I think Marcos goes forward and just puts the pressure on him, and that's going to be it. That's going to be what gets him to win.
Got to let his hands go. He can't just sit there and stare at him.
Right. And I think we saw a little bit more of that in his last fight. He looked like he was he was going for the kill. You know, debut fight
Yeah.
wasn't so great.
Because
But
he probably seen all the criticism he got, and then he's like, all right, well then I'm gonna come out and let my hands go.
yeah, exactly.
Hopefully that's what happened. Hopefully.
Exactly. So, could be somewhere in the middle, but yeah, I think if we see what we saw in that last fight, he's going to come forward and look for the kill, and I think the pressure will be enough to win the fight. All right, our next fight is in the bantamweight division. We have massive favorite Brad Katona taking on Jesse Butler. Jesse Butler has about 30 seconds of octagon time. He got completely starched in his debut. So we really don't know what we're getting with this guy. Brad Katona, we've seen for a while. Good grappling, solid boxing, tough all around. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is I mean, this line is just minus 650 on Brad Katona. I mean, that's kind of crazy, Doesn't get finishes. The decision's juice. So it's like, how do you bet this guy? But he can easily, I think, we don't know. Jesse Butler, he came in, got starched by Jim Miller in 20 seconds. Like, he's cutting down 2 weight classes here. So he's gonna be pretty big guy. Like, I really don't know what to expect. And like, it's like, Katona being a 650 favorite is just, I mean, what can you do with that? Maybe take a shot at maybe an inside the distance or something, a sub maybe, but like, I don't know. And then you can bet him by unanimous decision minus 120, but like the way these judges are, somebody might fuck around and score for Butler. You never know now. So it's like, you don't want to bet that. You don't want to bet that. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe you take a shot on Katona inside the distance. I really don't know what to do here. Like, how to get on him, because Katona doesn't finish anybody. But like,
right.
It's like, I don't know. I don't know how to approach this fight. I probably might just pass it. Maybe round 3 decision. It's minus 200. Yeah, it's like,
that's not too bad.
Maybe it's a parlay piece, but
yeah, I mean,
parlay over 1.5. Sure. I mean, I don't know. He probably wins, but
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty confident he wins. How he's gonna win, who God only knows. But yeah, I mean, Katona will go to the grappling if he has to. I think he'll have the advantage there. Katona can stand and trade for 3 rounds. We saw that on the Ultimate Fighter finale. That was a great fight. So he's got the skills. Obviously, he's probably never going to be a minus 650 favorite ever again. Hard to imagine he would be. Butler, I don't know. I mean, I didn't think he looked very good coming into the UFC. He fights Jim Miller, who, Jim Miller's legit. He had no shot in that fight. And obviously Jim Miller showed he had no shot in that fight. So is he really that bad? I don't know, but I haven't seen much from him that tells me he's great. That really I don't think he's good anywhere at the UFC level, at least. And I like Katona. I like him as a parlay piece. I could see the fight going longer because that's just kind of what Brad Katona does. But it's a tough one. Again, if there's something that you like in the other world of sports that you want to tie him to a parlay, I think he's live. He should win the fight. I don't see him losing this fight. So, but yeah, other than that, it's tough to really. I mean, that price is out of control. So, I think we can move on from this fight.
Yeah.
All right. Our next fight is in the women's flyweight division. We have Andrea Lee taking on Montana De La Rosa. Lee is just, I mean, she's in split decision after split decision. She's highly skilled, but she's been on the wrong end of some tough decisions. Fought some tough women. De La Rosa, mostly known for her grappling, takes a lot of damage. Not super high volume, but if she does get the grappling going, she's a problem. What are your thoughts here?
I don't know. Low-level women's MMA split. I mean, they've already fought before. Andrea Lee beat her already. Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one. This could be a close fight. I mean, I could see it going either way. I mean, would probably be dog or pass because you don't want to. It's never safe laying juice on women's MMA, especially in a fight like this where it's a coin flip. I think probably the split would be the way I would go. I mean, I don't really like this fight at all. I hate this fight, and yeah, probably split.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like this fight either. I'm gonna roll for the winner. I do think Andrea Lee gets the job done. I don't think De La Rosa puts up enough volume, and I think Andrea Lee, while she can be taken down, she does scramble well, and she is tough to take down. She also, when she wants to wrestle, her offensive wrestling is pretty good. So I think she just forces this fight to the feet. She wins on volume. If it does go to the ground, I think she can scramble and just do enough to show, put action out. I can't think of what I want to say, but be active enough is what I'm trying to say. I think she can be active enough. I think she, gets back to the feet, and she's just the more active fighter all around. So yeah, I like Andrea Lee. I think this fight goes to decision. Like if you wanted to put the decision by itself into a parlay, that's more than likely here. I think it goes 3 rounds. But yeah, if I'm picking a winner, I'm taking Andrea Lee, and confidence wise, not super confident, but yeah, I think she can get it done, and I think it goes all 3 rounds. Let's see here. Our next fight. This is an interesting one. Next fight is in is this welterweight? Yeah, I think it's welterweight. Welterweight division. We have Charles Radtke taking on Carlos Prates. Radtke did not look great in his debut. His second fight against Gilbert Urbina just came out and starched him. Prates, we saw his debut recently, not that long ago, against Trevin Giles. He was losing most of the fight, but he found that shot that he tends to find, and he won in the second round KO. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, Chuck Buffalo, man. Charlie Radtke. I mean, got me paid out. I was on him in this last fight. Got a good number on him, putting out Urbina. That was good. But yeah, I mean, this guy. I mean, he's got a good left hook. He's got decent striking. He's gonna come forward, decent grappling. Yeah, initially I thought earlier in the week, oh, Radtke a dog. This might be interesting. Then I went and watched the tape on this guy Prates, and I mean, it's like every fight, it's like he's there, and like the Trevin Giles fight, he dropped that first round, but he's like never out of it because he's a sniper. He's a sniper on the feet. He can just catch you at any moment, and boom, the fight's over.
Yeah.
And that would be my concern here is that what would be happening was, okay, you think you're winning your bet, Radtke's takes the first round, and then boom, just gets caught and put to sleep. I like Prates here. Prates knockout unders. as a parlay piece. I don't mind that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I remember that Trevin Giles fight. We were starting to get a little nervous, but
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, man. This is kind of what this dude does. He just kind of draws guys in, and the next thing you know, he catches them, and that's exactly what he
Yeah.
did in that
Yeah.
fight. It's he's. I don't want to compare him to Poatan because Poatan's on another level, but he kind of reminds me of that, where it's like he just methodically moves around. He's not too worried about getting hit, and he's just looking for that kill shot. And for the most part, he seems to be able to find it. And Radke, he he likes to grapple. He can try to mix in some grappling, but Prate's takedown defense is really good from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think at some point he just catches him. I mean, this could
Yeah.
be a good live betting spot because he could potentially be down around, and you get a good number on him. But yeah, I think Prades gets it done. I think he probably finds a finish. I'm not sold on Radke. I know that Urbina fight looked good, but Urbina's not. I don't think
Not good at
Urbina's
all.
very good either. So,
No.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I think Prades is the side here. I think he probably finds a finish at some point. It could get a little bit sketchy because he does tend to wait, but I think at some point he finds the chin and he gets a KO finish here. All right, our next fight is. I'm very curious to see where you're at on this one. In the lightweight division, we have Thiago Moises taking on Ludovic Klein. Klein has looked really good lately, striking off the charts. Takedown defense good, so it's tough to get him to the ground. Thiago Moises, I think he has underrated striking, but generally he's a grappler. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is a really, really, really interesting fight. I mean, Ludovic Klein, he came in, I was high on him, and then he had a kind of a low spot, low drought, and then he came back and it's like looks like a totally different fighter. He's on all the vitamins. Um, yeah, he's looked good. I mean, maybe the last fight was against AJ Cunningham. I mean, that guy's dreadful.
Right.
I mean, he
You
was supposed
expect
to do that.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish he would have done it in round 2 instead of the last 20 seconds of the first round. But you know, um, yeah, I mean, he's a good all-around fighter, good striking, good grappling if he needs it. But he's primarily going to want to keep us on the feet because, I mean, if Moises gets it to the ground, I mean, he could definitely, if he gets it to the ground and gets his back, he could definitely cause problems here. It might be over if he gets the back. That's yeah, but he's just too low volume for me. His striking is he's just there to be hit. I mean, if he can't get takedowns here, I see Klein just kind of just piecing him up and cruising to a decision. Yeah, the pick's gonna be Klein. Klein probably by decision.
Yeah. So I agree with everything in terms of picking Klein. I'm taking the shot on Moises here. I think he's willing to stand and trade. We saw that with Benoit Saint Denis. Saint Denis hit him with some big shots, and he just returned fire. Eventually, Saint Denis was able to kind of put the pace on him and get him out of there. But Saint Denis is massive, and I know he just lost to Poirier and all that, but the staph infection I think was a big part of that. I think Saint Denis is a real legit guy. So I think Moises will stand in there and he's going to get hit. Obviously, Klein is extremely dangerous. He can land that head kick on anybody and he could get him out of there. But if Moises gets the fight to the ground, just even in a scramble, he can catch a leg, heel hooks, all kinds of danger there. I think he's live enough on the feet, and then if the fight gets to the ground, I think he can obviously do some damage there. So I'm going to take the shot on Moises here. Obviously not extremely confident, but I do think he's live. I think it's a close fight, and I think he can do enough to get the job done here. Our next fight is in the welterweight division again. We have Miguel Baeza taking on Punahele Soriano. This is, I mean, these guys are both disappointments. Both seem to have some skill, some power, dangerous on the feet. But, man, Soriano's cardio, not great. Baeza, potentially chin problems. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, two guys I don't trust at all that I used to have faith in and that I was high on. Two guys that are flakes. I mean, Puna. He's good on the feet, but like you said, he's got no cardio. It's just this guy is he's not what I thought he was. He's just got no cardio. If he doesn't finish you early, then he's pretty much cooked. And Baeza's not that great either. His cardio is suspect. His chin is suspect. Puna's chin is suspect. This is just fucking a shit show. I don't know where I'm at on this one. I guess maybe Puna knockout. Maybe Baeza sub. If Baeza can get him to the ground and get his back. That's like plus 350. I don't really see him knocking out Puna. I really don't see him knocking Puna out. I think he can probably take him down and get his back and sub him. But Puna could easily catch this guy. This guy has no chin. Baeza's chin is like, he's been off for 2 years, so we don't know what if he had injuries or whatnot. But he hasn't looked great, And he tends to come out hot and then fade in rounds 2 and 3. But so does Soriano. So it's like probably violence. Probably somebody like just gets starched. Fight will end in KO is minus 150. I don't mind that. Yeah, I just see violence here. It's hard for me to land on a side. Probably Baeza by sub. Yeah, but unders probably parlay pieces. But I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with everything there. You really don't know with either guy. I think Soriano, if he's going to win this fight, it's got to be in the first round because his cardio is not good. Baeza, I do think he's the more skilled fighter. He's a more well-rounded fighter. Chin's been an issue. He's taken some losses that don't look good, that didn't age well. But, yeah, I have to go with Baeza here because I just think he's the more skilled guy. I think despite, his cardio, we've seen him fade late in fights, but I think his cardio is still better than Puna's. So, yeah, I like Baeza here. I like violence. If you're just betting unders, I understand it. If you're betting Baeza, I would bet him at least inside the distance. I think the sub is live for sure. But, yeah, two guys that the first 3 minutes of this fight, absolutely anything can happen. So we'll see what happens. But I have to roll with Baeza. Soriano's just, he finds the button, he finds it. Well, other than that, I think he's cooked. All right, our next fight is in the middleweight division. We have, again, this is a interesting one. We have Julian Marquez taking on Zachary Reese. Reese, another guy we saw for about, 30 seconds, a minute in the UFC. He got smashed by Cody Brundage with a slam, and that was the end of his debut. Marquez is tough out. He's been knocked out in the last 2 fights, but he's tough to put away. He's got good power. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is another terrible fight. Yeah, I think Marquez isn't very good. I mean, he's questionable cardio, questionable chin. I mean, mm, uh, like I don't know what to expect. His claim to fame is what was he calling out Miley Cyrus after he won a fight or something? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's his. I mean, and then everybody was high on him, and then he just gets beat down every fight since then. Um, yeah, and then this guy Zachary Reese, I don't think he's very good either. I think he's dreadful. So I don't know.
right.
This is just a weird fight. I mean, I guess I'd pick Marquez to get it done here, but with very, very little confidence because we don't really know what to expect from Reese. I mean, yeah, he got put out, but I mean, he hasn't looked the greatest. But I mean, Marcus is like, neither one of these guys I want to back with my money. So I don't know. Probably violence, maybe. I could see like a Marquez round one. What is that? What number? What price is that? Marquez KO round one is 3-1. Not the greatest. Marquez round one plus 275. Don't mind that, but yeah, it is just a disgusting fight. Probably Marquez round one.
Yeah, I agree. I think Marquez. I think he probably finishes the fight. I think Reese does have some submission upside, but Marquez has never been submitted. Um, and even in that Brunage fight, like Brunage fell to his back, and it was so easy for Brunage to get him on his back, and then started beating him up. And then he was, going for submissions, and then that's when he got slammed. So I think he kind of relies on his ability to find the sub. I don't think Marquez is going to fall into any traps. I think Marquez just kind of bludgeons him. And for the most part, Marquez will keep the fight on the feet. And I think he's got the advantage there. So while I don't think Marquez is very good, I think there's probably a little bit of value on him in this fight because I just don't think Reese has a real path here. So I like Marquez. I like him to finish the fight. But minus 140, minus 145. I don't hate it. I think Marquez probably just I think he walks through this kid. So I think there's some value there, despite the fact that I don't think Marquez is the greatest, but
Would it surprise you if Reese knocks him out?
yeah, I'd be
It
shocked.
would.
Yeah, I'd be
Wow.
shocked.
So you think Reese's path is a decision?
I think his path
I
would
think
be
he's a finish. I
to
think he
find
can
a sub.
just. That
I think
chin
he'd
is
have to find a
just.
sub
Uh,
because even though like Marquez has been put out, but like RoboCop cracked him like 6-7 times before he got him out of there. Similar kind of with the Barrial fight, and those are two guys that like
yeah,
if
but
those
you
guys are
you take that. Yeah, but you take all that damage back to back that wears on you
yeah
as a
no I
fighter. You're just coming off a long layoff here, and that chin.
that's
Who
that's
knows?
that's a valid
All it
point.
could
I
take
mean
now. You're getting older. He's old. He's older guy taking some time off. Back to back knockouts. That chin might be gone.
yeah, I mean it very well
But
could be.
yeah, he probably gets the win here. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think Reese has legit power. I mean, I don't know. From what I've seen, he really relies on his ability to grab subs. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's great. I mean, the first 30 seconds of that fight, well, the first 10 seconds of that fight, Brundage cracked him twice quickly. And then Brundage got wild like he does and fell to his back. And then that's when they ended up on the ground. But I don't know, man. I just don't think the kid's very good. Could he clip him? Sure. But I mean, I would be shocked if that happened.
Yeah, Marcus probably wins.
All right, our next fight is in the middleweight division. We have Bruno Ferreira taking on Dustin Stoltzfus. Again, two just not good fighters here. Ferreira, big time power. Stoltzfus, he could get the grappling going, drag Ferreira into deeper waters. We haven't really seen that from him in many fights, so who knows what kind of cardio Ferreira has. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is another tough one for me because Bruno Ferreira in that first round is going to be pretty dangerous early. I mean, he's got lights out power. Stoltzfus, I don't think Stoltzfus is very good. I mean, but should Pereira be a minus 275 favorite? I mean, as your only win equity being in round one, that's kind of tough. We don't know how he is late. I mean,
Right.
Stoltzfus got definitely, he's got the cardio. We've seen him go a hard three.
Yeah.
Bruno probably catches him in round one, but I don't know. I have no confidence in this fight. I'm gonna pick Bruno round one KO, but I don't know. Yeah, I just don't think Stoltzfus is very good. I don't think Pereira is very good, but he's gonna be pretty good in that first round. And then maybe
I agree.
If he survives that round, and then maybe get in on him live, like in the second round, if he's still there, and maybe you get a better number because Ferreira, I think, wins round one at a pretty high clip. And
that's the thing, man.
That's the way I'm gonna attack this fight. Is probably bet Ferreira round one, and then if I can get on Stoltzfus in round two live.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do think if the fight goes long, Stoltzfus, he forces the grappling. I think he should do that from the very beginning of the fight. But Ferreira is strong as hell, so it's not like it's going to be easy to just grapple him right off the bat. But at least try to wear him down. I do think Stoltzfus is live in the fight for that reason. I think if he can survive, I mean, we saw it kind of in the last fight with Puna. He had that risk there too. Puna could have caught him early. He survived, and then he got the grappling going, and Puna gassed out, and he found the submission. I do think there's a path here for this. So Ferreira round one, I'm fine betting that. I think he could easily knock him out in the first round. But yeah, as the fight goes along, I think it goes to Stoltzfus. We saw he was beating Gerald Meerschaert for two and a quarter rounds, and then Meerschaert caught him. Similar fight with I forget his name, the crazy grappler there. I can't think of his name right now. But again, he looked good in that fight until late. So he could have a couple more wins on his record if he gets the grappling going, wears this guy out, wears on the cardio, he could win this fight. But yeah, I think Ferreira, first round KO, extremely live. And then, we'll see what happens. We'll see what kind of cardio he has if we get into the second or third round. But yeah, you probably get a decent price on Stoltzfus. And that's probably where I'm going to be. I'm not really going to.
I don't want to be too invested into this fight. Yeah, I don't want to be.
Yeah, no, I'll probably bet Ferreira the KO early. If it's I don't even know what the price is on it, but if it's worthwhile, I will.
Plus 175.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not the greatest, but
no,
that's kind of the way I see it too. I mean, early KO, or we'll see. I mean, cardio could fail him, and which I mean, I definitely think it could fail him. I don't think he's very good. But I don't think Stoltzfus is great either. So it's not like it's a lock that Stoltzfus just takes it down the stretch. But I would give him the advantage after round one. Our next fight is in the bantamweight division. This is a fight we've kind of been looking at for quite a while here. Raul Rosas Jr. taking on Ricky Tercios. These guys were set to fight a few months ago. Was going to be at elevation. I was going to take a shot on Tercios. but he pulled out. He's had some injury issues. This is not at elevation, so I think I have to roll with Raul here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we were on the same page in the first fight with the elevation and Rosas' questionable cardio. I mean, Tercios, I mean, striking is terrible. He throws volume, a lot of swing and miss, just horrible. But his get up game is pretty good. I mean,
Yeah,
and Rosa, and we've seen Rosas gas out a little bit later in the fights, but I mean, this is an elevation. This changes my whole opinion on the fight now. So yeah, I think it's probably Rosas. Rosas takes him down, probably gets his back. Tercios likes to give his back up, trying to get up. I think Rojas can jump on that, get the hooks in, and get his back. Yeah, this is Rosas sub for me.
yeah. I mean, that's where I'm at too. The elevation would have made it interesting, but I just yeah.
And then he said
And
he was
with
sick. He was sick and couldn't shake it, and then they called it 5 minutes before he was going to walk, which
yeah,
was weird.
which is very
And then
strange. Yeah,
they tried to reschedule it for 140 like a week later, and then Tercio was like, no, like, and then they rebook it now. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. It's weird circumstances. But yeah, I mean, I think Rosas the wrestling is going to be enough, and I think he probably gets him in a bad spot somewhat early in the fight. Probably gets him out of there. Um, but even so, like even if he doesn't, I feel like his cardio. The kid's young. He's 19, 20 years old. I don't know if he's 20 yet.
That's a concerning thing though for me. Is like you're barely inexperienced. You're only 19 years old. This guy is, you know, the more experienced fighter, which is a
Right.
little concerning. But
I mean, I think like
Rosas
cardio
should.
wise, he gassed out once before. He's going to learn from that. Obviously, the kid.
Yeah, definitely the cardio didn't come in too much effect here because as we were capping the Mexico card at
Right.
elevation,
Exactly.
so that really,
Yeah.
I think he gets it done here early, probably round one sub.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he was fighting a tougher fighter too in that fight when he did gas out. He just wasn't. That was a spot where he ran into a vet that was tough, and
Yeah,
he learned a lesson. So you think he would learn and grow from that. So we'll see. We'll see if he does. But I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and bank on the fact that his cardio will be good, and he is the better wrestler, grappler, the better finisher here. I think the price is right, and I think he probably finds a finish in this one. Our next fight is yet another shit show, really. We've got Dominic Reyes taking on Dustin Jacoby. Yeah, in my eyes, Reyes is, until I see otherwise, the guy's got no chin, and I just can't back this guy. What are your thoughts here?
yeah. This is another terrible fight. Dominic Reyes, you really don't know what to expect. The guy's just been getting knocked out left and right. Ever since the John Jones fight, it seems like his mojo just disappeared. Just gone. Like he beats John Jones, gets robbed in the decision, and then just can't find it.
Yeah.
And what more motivation? You had the championship in your hands. What motivation can you really have? You had it right there.
Right.
You fought the best fight against the MMA GOAT, and you still wasn't good enough. I don't know. But Jacoby is just, he's flaky to me. Like I was high on the guy, and then he's just like, he just fights like pitter patter, fucking kickboxing, point fighting, style, and it's just like you could like if you leave yourself there trying to point fight, and the guy catches you and wobbles you, then they can steal the round,
Right.
But Like in the Menafield fight, he was piecing Menafield up, but Menafield had the moments and clipped him with power and won that fight. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect from Dominic Reyes, but in 2024, I can't lay my money on him. You know, but I don't want to lay my money on Jacoby either. I don't know where to go with this fight. I think maybe Jacoby wins a decision, but my confidence level here is low.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is Jacoby is not. It's not somebody I want to put my money on. I mean, I think the knockouts live. I was shocked despite the previous two fights for Reyes in his last fight against Spann. I was shocked how bad his chin looked. So I think a guy with Jacoby's skill set could probably knock him out first round, you know, and make it look easy.
But you see, Jacoby knockout is only plus 110. Like, that's
I know
shit.
it sucks. It sucks.
I mean, I'm more appealed by the decision at plus 300. Like,
right. And again, like I could see it. I mean, Reyes, you know, there could be a fight where he comes back and shows us, hey, you know, I'm not dead. Could this be the fight? Absolutely. Jacoby tends to fight to the level of his competition. He's lost fights that he should have won, and this could be one that goes to a decision. But yeah, it's tough for me to believe Reyes can get through 3 full rounds. But
Jacoby round 3 or decision is plus 200.
It's not bad.
Jacoby in over 1.5 is plus 125.
I mean, there is a world where
Yeah.
Reyes says, you know, I'm a better athlete than this guy, and tries to get him to the ground, and you know, doesn't fight on the feet, just drags it out, runs the clock. If he holds him against the cage, he could run the clock down. That's possible. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
so you obviously just think his chin is like he gets hit and he's gone. Then
I think. I mean that from what I've seen. I feel like
oh
if he gets
shit,
hit, he's cooked.
Yeah, it could. That chin is dust.
I mean the knockout he took.
Jacoby doesn't really have the style. He doesn't really fight like that. Like.
I know, but we've seen it though. We saw it with the.
I mean, yeah, true. When you're getting knocked out by Ryan Spann like that in round 1, it's pretty.
Yeah, and it was like a stiff jab too that got him out of there, which was shocking.
I mean, because Ryan Spann is just the worst.
Yeah, so it's tough. I mean, Jacoby. My pick to win is Jacoby. I think he wins the fight. I think round 1 KO is live. I think he could get him out of there. I mean, if I'm Jacoby, I'm just going for it right off the rip. Just go out there, try to knock this guy out. He's a big name still, you know.
Round 1 KO plus 275.
Yeah. Like honestly, that might be my only bet. I'll throw that a little bit of something on that. And then that's it. I don't know, because maybe. I thought potentially Reyes, he's taken a lot of time off, but in the fight before Spann, he took like a 1.5 years off. So I don't know. I don't really know if the time off is really going to help him. So yeah, I think Jacoby probably puts him out at some point. And yeah, it's a shame. It's crazy what the MMA world would be if Dominic Reyes had won that decision against John Jones. But
I mean, he probably loses it in the next fight. I mean,
he probably does, but I mean, that changes the whole legacy of John Jones. Like so much changes if that fight, if that decision goes the other way. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, it fell the way it fell, and it's just been downhill ever since for Reyes, unfortunately. But we'll move on to our main event here. We've got Jared Cannonier taking on Nasruddin Imavov in a middleweight bout. two guys who are pretty similar. Both guys good strikers, solid grapplers, durable. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I've never really been a big Imavov guy. I mean, I think he's got good striking, good grappling. I don't like his cardio though. He tends to gas out like after round two. He's pretty much cooked. So he's got 2 hard rounds in him, and this is a 5-round fight here. The veteran, Jared Cannonier, coming in here. I mean, his last performance against Vittori, I mean, he just it blew my mind watching that. Like he was
Yeah,
just, I mean, he just laid it on him. I mean, and with the chin that Vittori, I mean, Vittori, if any other fighter in there without Vittori's chin, I mean,
right.
they're going out. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, but he is coming off that injury. Tore his knee up. That's right before he was supposed to fight Hamza, I think. So he is coming back off the knee. He's 40 years old. But I don't know. I like his cardio. I think the cardio is going to be there. I think the volume is going to be there. I think he's going to be able to put it on Imavov and just wear him down and take over the fight. Imavov is going to look good early, and then Cannonier is just going to be able to just keep walking him down, putting on the volume, putting the pressure on him. And yeah, better cardio, better volume. I like Cannonier here.
Yeah, I do too, man. I think there's a lot of value here. And I think what we saw in that Vittori fight was he decided, I'm going to come forward and I'll eat some shots, but the reason why he lost to Izzy was because he was unwilling to come forward. And he's had a couple close fights like that, but that fight, it just seemed like
either guy didn't want to come forward.
Well, yeah, neither guy really did anything in that fight. But in that fight against Vittori, it just felt like he was like, I'm just going to come forward. This is how I'm going to get back to the title. He knows how to win these fights now. And I mean, he looked like an absolute killer. He beat the piss out of Vittori. He outstruck him by like 100 strikes.
He threw like 100 strikes almost in one round. I think it was like crazy.
Yeah, it was the best performance he's ever had. I mean, it was a full performance, 5 rounds. Looked great all the way through. Cardio looked good. The power looked good, despite the fact he didn't finish the fight. I mean, he, like you said, most guys are not getting through 5 rounds of that. Vittori's just tough as nails. I thought it was a career best for him. Another 5-rounder here. I think there's value. I think there's value on him. He's the dog. I think he can win this fight, and yeah, I think it's a good spot for him.
Yep.
So we're in agreement on that one. I do think the fight goes a little. I think we do see the fight go a little long. So I have a bet on him over 2.5 rounds. I'm trying to figure out kind of what I want to do, but I like him over 2.5 rounds. I like him on the money line, obviously, as a dog. But yeah, I just think that was the best we've seen from him. Obviously, hopefully there's no letdown with the injury, but I just think we're going to get the best of him, and I think he can win. You know, he's just better than Imavov over 5 rounds.
Yep.
And that, my friends, is the end. We have actually, I don't even know. We've got the NASCAR pod tomorrow night. What's that?
We're at Sonoma this weekend.
At Sonoma, we got the road course for NASCAR. We will be live. The crew hit a 65-1 on Sunday. Crazy, crazy finish. But the way things have gone for us this year, that was a storybook ending to that race. We deserve that. And hopefully, last week UFC was great for us. Hopefully we can keep the ball rolling, get some NASCAR winners. We'll be live all weekend as usual. And yeah, that's it. So tune in. join the Patreon, get in the Discord. We've got live shows all throughout the week. Got baseball on Tuesday nights. We got NBA finals going on, so we'll probably have some NBA action going as well. But yeah, anything else from you, Johnny?
Nope.
All right, we're good
Boston
to go.
is smoking Dallas.
Are they?
Yeah, they're up by 21.
Jesus. All right. Well, so with that, we'll go up, watch some NBA finals, and we will see everybody on Saturday night.
Laters.